Today, we are diving into something I think every parent can relate to. We're going to walk through a 5-step connection-first method. Think of it as a simple workflow designed to help you discipline effectively, get your child to cooperate willingly, and most importantly, build a much stronger bond with them, all without ever having to raise your voice. I mean, we've all been there, right? You love your kids more than anything in the world. But then, it happens. The milk goes flying across the kitchen. The homework becomes a full-on battle. And in that split second, the frustration just boils over. You hear yourself yelling and almost don't recognize your own voice. It's such a universal struggle for parents.
And what almost always comes right after the yelling? Yep, that awful, sinking wave of guilt. It creates this vicious cycle that can feel just impossible to escape. But here's the good news, and I really want you to hear this. It is a cycle, and any cycle can be broken. The key isn't about being stricter or needing more control. It's about having the right tools in your toolkit.
So let's just get right to it. Why doesn't yelling actually work in the long run? I know it can feel like the only way to get their attention sometimes, but the science of a child's brain tells a completely different story. Let's dig into what's really going on inside their head.
Okay, so here's the science, but let's make it super simple. When we yell, it's like we're flipping an alarm switch in our child's brain. It triggers their fight or flight response. Their brain literally goes into survival mode. And you know that part responsible for learning and listening? It just shuts down. They literally can't process your instructions because their body thinks there's a threat. But connection? It does the exact opposite. It releases oxytocin, that's the bonding hormone, which makes them feel safe and actually opens their brain back up to your guidance.
So this is it. This is the playbook that's going to help us break that cycle. 5 clear, totally doable steps that can shift the whole dynamic from conflict to cooperation. Let's start with the most important step, and it actually begins with you. Okay, step 1 is all about hitting the internal brake. This is foundational because our kids learn how to manage their big feelings by watching us manage ours. Your calm today literally becomes their self-control tomorrow.
So here's the move. Before a single word comes out of your mouth, you apply that internal brake. All it takes is 5 seconds. Just inhale deeply and consciously lower the volume of your voice. Think about it. If your boss screamed at you, would you want to cooperate or would you just want to defend yourself? Your child feels the exact same way. That little pause is the difference between reacting and responding.
All right, let's move into the next 2 steps, which are all about this one powerful principle. You have to connect before you correct. Seriously, this is the shift that changes the whole game, because that connection is what makes any real guidance possible.
Step 2 is building what I like to call an empathy bridge. You've got to remember, behind almost every quote-unquote bad behavior is a really big feeling that your child just can't manage yet. So instead of jumping to "stop that," try to validate their emotion. Saying something simple like, "Wow, I can see you're really frustrated that your tower fell," tells them you get it. It makes them feel seen, not judged. And that's what opens the door for them to actually listen.
Step 3 is all about your physical presence. It's the physical pivot. I mean, looming over a small child just feels threatening. So instead, you pivot. You kneel down to their level, make some gentle eye contact, maybe place a reassuring hand on their shoulder. These small actions totally de-escalate the situation and communicate safety. You're not losing authority. You're gaining their attention through trust, not fear. And that is so much more powerful.
All right, so you've paused, you've connected, now what? Now it's time to actually guide their behavior. And that's where steps 4 and 5 come in. This is where we shift from just giving commands and punishments to actually teaching and empowering.
Step 4 is the choice loop. And believe me, this is a game changer, especially for toddlers. You know how they have that deep need for autonomy? Well, a command like "put your shoes on now" is basically an invitation to a power struggle. Instead, try giving 2 yes options. Hey, do you want to put your shoes on or your jacket first? See? Both choices lead to getting out the door, but it gives them a sense of control. This shifts them from fighting you to problem-solving with you.
And this brings us to the ultimate goal in step 5, choosing discipline over punishment. And they are not the same thing. Punishment is all about making a child suffer for a mistake, and that just breeds shame. But discipline, the root of that word, actually means to teach. It's about helping them learn how to make a better choice. So if they spill their juice, the discipline isn't a lecture. It's getting a cloth and cleaning it up together. That action teaches responsibility and problem solving, not fear. Okay, I know that was a lot to take in, so let's boil it all down into a simple, memorable checklist that you can use the very next time you feel that frustration rising. So here it is, your 5-step plan. Number 1, pause and breathe for 5 seconds. 2, validate their feeling. 3, get down on their level. 4, offer 2 yes choices. And number 5, use natural consequences to teach. This is your practical tool for turning those moments of conflict into moments of connection.
And as we wrap up, I just want to leave you with this question. In the heat of the moment, it's so easy to focus on just getting compliance, just getting them to do the thing. But are we trying to raise a child who just gets things right? Or are we trying to raise a human being who knows that even when they mess up, they are still capable, resilient, and deeply, deeply loved?